Tremendous cute, tremendous cute, tremendous cute.
Who's your favorite pitmaster's favorite pitmaster?
Yeah.
Welcome to Tremendous Q's walkthrough of the modifications for the newest member of the Tremendous Q family, the cooking family, the Oklahoma Joe Bandera. Alright, now some of these modifications are going to be a little bit obvious at the gate. We have the firebox levers as well as the lever that I added to the cook chamber. And then on the inside, we're going to have some gauge and some caulking that we added in order to make sure that we trap all the smoke inside. So all of these modifications serve the exact same purpose. We want to make sure that we have an efficient cooker and that we trap as much of the smoke and the heat inside as possible. All right. So with enough of that talking, let's go ahead and walk through some of these modifications. All right. So the firebox. Open this up. On the inside, you can see we added gauge on all four sides of the firebox. All right, these two levers on the outside were basically, if you were to shut the firebox, you'll see that it's closed, but there is a slight gap. It's kind of hard, going to be kind of hard to see on the camera. All right, so we added the gauge along all four sides to help trap the smoke inside the firebox. Okay, then we caulked the inside of the firebox. We also caulked the inside of the cook chamber as well. So those were the modifications that we did to the firebox to help trap the smoke. And then we also added these levers as well. Now these levers, when you close it, are basically going to help trap the smoke inside. So they're all designed to be operated with just one hand. Of course, it's going to try to make a liar out of me. Hold on. There we go. All right. I'm doing this at a weird angle because I'm trying to hold the camera and show you guys. So same thing on this one. I literally just push it forward with my trigger finger. All right. And then lift up, and we got a tight seal on the firebox. Okay, to open it up, same thing, one-handed controls, and we can pull it straight up. All right, so we're gonna leave this shut for now. And then head over to the cook chamber. Now in the cook chamber, you're going to notice as soon as I open this thing that I did not use the same gauge that I did on the firebox in order to seal the cook chamber. All right, so let's open this thing up. You see that taut, how tight it was when I opened this thing up. All right, so your typical cookers, you're going to see the same gauge that you had in the firebox around the door as well. I didn't want to go that route. I like doing things a little bit different. So what I did was I went with the rope. All right, so we went with the gauge around this door as opposed to the flat rope, and we got it all the way around, all four sides. Okay, now here's the deal. The door will shut on its own with this gauge on there, but it won't stay shut. What do I mean by that? This handle right here is the lever that is supposed to turn. Okay, this thing is supposed to turn and get caught on the inside of this, basically the piece that's molded on the inside of the cook chamber. As you can see, this is where it was catching. I couldn't get I could not get the cook chamber door to shut all the way, so I had to improvise. I took a little bit of the gauge off on the side closest or opposite of the lever. All right, this was basically to allow the door to shut more than what it was. Prior to me taking that gauge out, when I tried to shut the door, there was about this much space. Now when I try to shut it, it's about this much space, and that's where this comes into play. So with this lever, I can pull the cook chamber door all the way shut using this gauge. We have a very tight seal all the way around. Now I have not fired this thing up yet. At the end of this, or the second half of this video, I got a little bit of kindling. All right, and we're going to put this in a firebox, and we're going to give you guys are going to see it the same as I do for the first time, how tightly this thing is sealed and whether or not I got everything and everything works. All right, so other quick modifications that we did caulking around all the edges, so this no longer turns. I tighten this to the point where the handle will no longer turn. This is the back of the temperature gauge. Again, I put caulking around this so no smoke seeped out. And then these two divots are connected to the Oklahoma Joe, what's the thing called? The Oklahoma Joe logo on the front, this thing right here. So front, temperature logo, temperature gauge, handle. Okay, so I put the handle stuck in the up position. And again, this is so I can still use the handle with the cool touch in order to open and close the firebox door. And as you can see, we got caulking all around the inside. Okay. And then even up to the cook chamber, or I'm sorry, the smokestack. All right. So without further ado, let's close this thing up and see how it's going to seal with all the modifications that we've done to it. All right. Alright, so with the little close-up, it looks like we have the seams at the top of the firebox. Yeah, you should be able to see it right there. So this seam runs all along the back, so it looks like we're gonna have to add a little caulking right there. And I thought I saw some smoke coming out of the firebox. No, if you can actually see, the firebox itself is actually smoking. All right, nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about that at all. But I think you guys, I think this thing is actually pretty. I think we got this sealed up pretty good. This is my first time modifying a smoker, any smoker, myself. Okay, and there were a few lessons learned that I'll talk you guys through real quick, okay? So with this lever, this one went fine, but on this one I installed the bottom lever part of the lever first, and I didn't account for this handle up top because I had the firebox open at the time. So if I were to pull it down, you'll notice that there's actually a slight overlap between this lever and the latch below. Now I just got really lucky, because if I push this, made this flush to the handle up here, then really there's enough give in this. There's enough give in this latch that I can just literally with my finger, it goes right over it, okay? And then we got that shut. So that was the first basically boneheaded mistake that I made. The other one was on the latch to the cook chamber, okay? Now, it's at a slight angle, which does not bother me at all. But my issue with this was that the holes on the inside, so let's open this thing up real quick to see. Woo! Yeah, that's definitely sealed tight. So on the inside, you'll see that I have 3 screws coming through, okay? Now there are nuts on this one and on this one. But when I was doing my measurements, I got the measurements fine. But again, I didn't account for the nuts that are supposed to go on the screws. So you'll see how close this is to this latch up here. Yeah, couldn't fit the nut on that, all right? So it is in there very tightly, and I basically just had to leave it because I didn't want an extra hole in my firebox letting the smoke escape, okay? The third This was technically the first mistake that I made, but in order that we're going in, the third mistake that I made. The gauge, while I did want to go with the gauge, I didn't account for the firebox door not being able to close all the way, okay? So you'll see how much it pushes out with the gauge on there, all right? So the lever that came with the Oklahoma Joe was not gonna cut it. You can see the marks that it left trying to close. It's supposed to be all the way inside right here, but it wasn't. It kept getting caught right here because I couldn't get the door to shut all the way. That's where this lever came in. All right, so we had to install that. That was out of necessity. It was not on purpose. It was not intentional. All right, but it's good because with the lever, we shut the door and we got this thing sealed tight, and everything's coming out of the smokestack like it's supposed to be. And we'll get these little crevices. I think you can see it right there. There's a little bit of smoke. Can you see it? Coming right about there at the corner. There you go. So we're gonna get that caulked up, and that looks like it's gonna be the last thing that I'm gonna have to do to this pit in order to make sure that it is sealed as tightly as can possibly be. So overall, I'm really impressed with the modifications that I did on this. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. I would absolutely do it again, especially knowing what I know now. And I really can't wait to buy my next smoker and doing some more modifications to that thing. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next video here at Tremendous Q's Cooking Channel.